Hey, everybody, welcome to a Power Hour Thursday edition. It is the 10th of November. I'm your boy, Detroit Lenny, here with another Power Hour edition, and we got lots to go over today. I got three expert handicappers to go over everything with you. I got Sean Higgs doing a rapid fire, all kinds of fun. He's got 5 games he's going to go over for college football, and he's going to talk some Colts Raiders. And then I got Cam Ross giving us a same game college football parlay. And also Cowboys, Packers, which my Lions might have destroyed last weekend, but we'll talk about that at a different time. And I got Jesse the Iceman Truel to go over Washington, Oregon, and Washington, Philly. So lots of Washington stuff, different sides of Washington, though. Commanders, Eagles, and the Huskies and the Ducks. So before we don't get too far into this, though, I got to tell everybody about No House Advantage. No House Advantage, if you're into fantasy football and stuff like that, betting, stuff like that, they're changing the game. Go to nohouseadvantage.com. It's available today on all your streaming, all the app stores, everything like that. Sign up, use the promo code PNP, nohouseadvantage.com, or download the app. Any of the app stores, like I said, they'll match up to $50 first deposit. Again, nohouseadvantage.com. Check them out. So without further ado, let me bring in my first guest here, Jesse the Iceman. How we doing, my friend? How's it going? How's things in your side of the world?
Doing well. Looking forward to some big games this season or this weekend.
Yes. I can't believe we're in the thick of things right now. I mean, it's week 11 or something in college football, week 9, 10 in NFL. It's week 10 in NFL, week 11 in college football. Before we know it, we'll be talking playoff stuff. Whew. Let's talk about this. Let's not get carried away. First, Washington Huskies at the Oregon Ducks. Ducks minus 13.5 favorite, over under 72.5. Where are we going with this game? Do we think Washington's legit?
Well, you mentioned playoffs, and the Ducks have an outside shot to make the playoffs if they can win the Pac-12 championship. Yes, our last week's results with Alabama losing and some of those other contenders, Clemson going down, opens the door for the Pac-12. You got Oregon minus 13.5. I like the Ducks. I think the Ducks will probably cover here, but I'm going to focus on the total. You look at Oregon, they're number 3 in the country, scoring 43 points per game. Their last home game was a 45-30 win over UCLA. You look at the Huskies, number 1 in the country in passing offense, 370 yards per game. So your immediate knee-jerk reaction is, man, this is going to be a high score. The total opened in the 60s. It's been bet up to 72.5. It's probably going to keep going. But I want to curb your enthusiasm about all the scoring. It is November. The Pacific Northwest in mid-November isn't pretty. We got a taste of that last week in Washington when they played Oregon State. That game ended up going under. It was a close, low-scoring game. And the history actually favors the under between these two teams. The last 2 years, the total was under 50. The total hasn't been as high as 70 since 2013, and these teams play every year. 3 of the last 4 games went under the total, and all 4 of those 4 games went under 70 points. I do think you're getting value with the under here, and I do think you'll continue to get value if you wait until game day. Let them bet that up a couple more points for you and hit the under is my recommendation.
When I saw this, first of all, I saw this game on the schedule. I thought, oh, this is good. This is going to be good. November, Oregon weather. We're looking maybe 50 degrees, possible rain. Who knows? Could do anything. It's like you said, Pacific Northwest. But both these teams can score. But both these teams are okay. Let everybody score. I don't think this thing hits 60. That's what I'm trying to say. Maybe we get to the 50s. Weather related, we might not even see 50. This is all day under for me. I do think Oregon wins. I don't know about covering as far as the side goes, but I like them. I like that team. But I love this underplay. This is free money, folks. Good breakdown there as well. Don't forget, like, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. Power Hours brought to you Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern. That's when we're here. Let's move into the NFL. NFL action, Monday Night Football, Commanders, the other Washington. We're going the other side, the Washington Commanders at the Philadelphia Eagles. Little divisional rival, Eagles minus 11, over under 42. Where are you going with this one? What are you thinking with this one?
Well, everybody knows the Eagles are undefeated, and the betting public loves the Eagles these days. But I want to remind you that we haven't seen a team run the table in the regular season since the 2007 Patriots. And they had Tom Brady, Randy Moss, Bill Belichick, Gronk. The Eagles are not the 2007 Patriots.
That's an accurate statement, by the way.
Everybody's got to lose sometime. And I think this line looks a little bit inflated. I think, the Washington's 4-5 overall. They're 2-1 since making the change at quarterback. And this season, before the NFL season started, I wrote season previews and predicting the over-under for regular season wins for every single team. It was a hell of a lot of work. It was the first time I did that. But I did start the season 10-0 with NFL, so I'll probably be doing it every year from now on.
I bet you will.
But in my write-up for the Washington Commanders, I said that Carson Wentz and Taylor Heinicke, their stats are pretty much mirror each other, and it just didn't make sense to me for Washington to bring in Wentz, pay him all that money. And so I've got the breakdown of this season, what their stats are, and I think you'll probably find this interesting. Heinicke's got a higher completion percentage. He's got a higher quarterback rating, and he's averaging more yards per pass. And they both have the exact same touchdown to interception ratio. So Heinicke's slightly better statistically, even though he's averaging fewer yards per game. But the big stat, of course, is they've won 2 or 3 games since Heinicke's taken over. I think the team probably rallies behind him. They're familiar with him. He's got some character. He's gotten them to be quite competitive when nobody expected them to be. And 11 points. The history between these two teams. Last year, Philly blew out the Commanders, but the previous 6 meetings, none of those previous 6 games were decided by more than 10 points. Getting 11 here looks like the play. I'll take the dog in a divisional matchup.
Man, this screams putting it in a teaser with some other games for Sunday. Commanders on a 6-point teaser, and that you get them over 2 touchdowns. I don't care if Washington's 0-10 and Philly's 10-0. Throw the records out. It's a divisional matchup. I don't think the Eagles run the table like you mentioned earlier. They still got to play the Giants twice, the Cowboys again, and this game. This
and it's still mid-November on the East Coast.
Yeah, so this and an under all day. I love this. I love it. I don't know what Washington was thinking with the Wentz thing as well. I don't like. We saw what happened there in Indy with Carson Wentz. It's time. You got to make a decision sometimes, Carson Wentz. Maybe it's time to retire or just be a great backup and help, tutor a younger talent, the next generation. So we're going to take the Commanders plus 11 here for Monday Night Football. Don't forget to like, subscribe, ring that bell for notifications. Power Hours here Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern. Jesse, my man, it's always a pleasure. I'll see you next week on the Power Hour, my friend. Take care.
See you later, Lenny.
All right, guys. Now, listen, Cam Ross is going to bring in a banger here. He's got a 2-team not 2-team parlay, same game parlay for a banger of a college game. So I'm just going to bring him in right now. Cam Ross, same game parlay. You ready?
Oh, yeah. I'm ready.
Going mobile from the car. Hot breaking news.
Yeah.
Cam Ross.
Running around with these children. So, but
Damn
yeah, here
kids.
we are.
Damn kids, right?
Yeah,
Saturday, the 12th of November, Alabama minus 12.5 at Ole Miss, over under 64.5. You got a same game parlay in this game out of all games. Break it. Let me hear it.
Yeah. This isn't this wasn't the first one I saw, but it just made most sense to me. Alabama lost to LSU last week. Everybody knows, and quintessentially ended their season as far as a chance at a national title. But Alabama is still ranked very high in the nation, and I would imagine they're going to move up because people are losing, people are dropping off, and other than Georgia, it's not for sure who's going to make it into that playoff. There's teams jostling around, moving around, but Alabama plays well every game. They have outstanding athletes. They're deep, they're elite, but their defense has been terrible this year. Their defense has failed them. Gave up a 50 ball to Tennessee in their first loss. Allowed LSU to get it to overtime. LSU scored in the first play of overtime, went for 2, game over, season dead.
Smart.
I do think.
I love that play.
Yeah, you go for it.
Go for it. You've come here to win.
Yeah,
not tie against Alabama.
Yeah, go for it. And Alabama clearly wasn't ready for it. And that goes back to my point. Their defense has just failed them. I think Nick Saban's pissed. Watching him run around on the sideline, I think he's pissed. I think Alabama's going to control this game. I do think Alabama will cover this number, but I don't think Ole Miss is going to score enough because Alabama is going to stifle them. I can see Alabama. I think Alabama's going to score plenty to cover this number, but I don't think Ole Miss is going to do enough to go over the 64.5. So I'm going to take Alabama to cover the number and under this big total, as the Alabama defense will finally reveal itself this week in a ranked versus ranked matchup.
I'll tell you what, I got a conspiracy theory with this real quick too as well. Alabama still trying. You know how the public loves Alabama, all that. The college football committee, they want their Alabama. With Michigan or Ohio State still is to play, and they're ranked 2 and 3. One of them got to lose, and if one of them loses or gets bad, and Alabama's still trying to backdoor their way in, and they're going to try and run the table and run it bad. So they cover this number. If they get over or under, this is where I'm a little wishy-washy on that 64 because I don't really trust that defense. I don't from Alabama. I don't trust them, but
yeah,
I love it here. This has got teaser written all over it for me.
For sure.
Alabama under a touchdown and then tease it up to 70 and under. Oh, yeah, run it.
10 scores is a no-go in this one.
Yep. Don't forget, guys, like, subscribe, ring that bell for notifications. Power Hours brought to you Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern. Your same game parlay, Alabama and the under. We're going to move into some NFL action. Cowboys Sunday, -5 against the Packers. Over under 43. Where are you going with this one? Talk to me a little bit about this NFL matchup.
Yeah, Green Bay
got the break speed off of them last Sunday.
Got the break speed off of them. And you said it earlier, and that goes into my choice for today. Green Bay looks terrible. They look lost. They have all year. Aaron Rodgers doesn't seem to have it, and he's even got a thumb issue going. I know Zeke is questionable for the Cowboys, but Pollard will play, and Dallas has far more weapons, and they seem to be going. And even with the undefeated Eagles, Dallas controls their own fate. They're 6-2. They're going to see the Eagles. They keep winning. The Eagles are going to lose a game sooner or later, and then the Cowboys can beat them and, take over that division. I think the Cowboys are going to roll here. I just think the Cowboys are going to – I think sooner or later the Packers are going to pull Aaron and let Jordan Love run around.
They've already been down that road. He's not there. He's not the future. He's a good backup, but I get it. Aaron clearly is done with Green Bay. They've lost 5 in a row, and they've lost them to, not bad teams, but they lost to the Lions. That's a bad team. The Lions are a bad team. And they lost to Washington. That's not a good team either. I mean,
no.
The Giants and the Jets overproduced. They beat them, but the Packers, everybody keeps saying, Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers ain't done nothing, but that's just the line.
No, he hasn't. But the Green Bay is losing to bad teams, but they look awful doing it.
Yeah, they don't.
They're not getting backdoored, a 55-yard field goal, a Hail Mary. No, they're getting just toasted for 60 minutes.
Yeah.
And I think Dallas has a lot more to play for. Dallas is trying to play for the playoffs. Dallas wants to win that division. And even again, 8-0 and 6-2 isn't that far apart.
No.
Especially with them on each other's schedule.
Who'd have thought that division would be legit? I'm just telling you right now.
8-0, 6-2, and 6-2. Goodness.
Yeah.
But no, I'm gonna go with the Cowboys because I think like you said, Aaron Rodgers is done with Green Bay, but I think Green Bay's done as a whole.
Yeah, that's fair. Guys, don't forget, like, subscribe, ring that bell for notifications. Power Hours brought to you Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern. Cam Ross, I appreciate you, my friend. We'll see you on the next one.
I'll be here. Good luck, everybody.
Take care. All right, guys, we still got a college football rapid fire. Sean Higgs is going to give you 5 games, 5 winners, and he's going to go over the Colts and the Raiders. No pressure, 5 winners. 5 winners, Higgs, 5 winners. Anything else is unacceptable.
All right. Well, college hasn't been bad. We're 92 and 81 with college football and 23 and 15 with totals, 61% there. So we're good plus money in college football. We'll take it. We're not crushing like NFL, but we're in the plus money for college football. So.
Hey, well, plus money is all we need, right?
That's it.
All right. So 5 games, 5 minutes ish. I mean, it depends. We're going to start it off with a Big Ten matchup. Big Ten matchup of the year. Ready? Wisconsin -1.5 at Iowa. Over under is a dismal 35 number.
Yes, so we're at 16:30. Let's go. Let's keep this under. Let's see if I can do it here. So I'm going to go over the total here, Letty. It opened at 33.5, which is ridiculously low, up to 35. Right. I still think this game's going to be over. I mean, we saw them last week. Iowa put up 24 against Purdue there, 33 against Northwestern. And Whiskey, as much as they're a team that fired their head coach, and you think, well, they run the ball, they don't play much offense into the 21st century. 23, 35, 28, and 42 their last few games. So again, you can mistake yourself into a 40 here with 2 teams getting to 20. Like, I don't think this game's going to be 17-6. I think we'll see some scoring. So over to 35 for me.
Fair enough. I like it. Even bad teams got to get over. Maryland, Penn State. Also a Saturday matchup. Penn State -10 and a hook. Over under 59. It's Penn State. I don't know which team shows up this weekend.
All I know is that this Maryland helmet, what is that? Why can't Maryland just have like a kind of grayish helmet with a turtle on it? Like, what is this helmet?
Everybody's got the choir, man.
And listen,
because I'm the guy that does these graphics.
All I wear is black and gray. I wear black and gray all the time. I get it, but like every team's got to have black uniforms. I don't know.
But this the easiest helmet ever is this Penn State helmet. Looks good facing the left. It looks good facing the right. It doesn't matter. This Maryland helmet.
This is just a house of horrors here with Maryland. Penn State, I'll lay it at 10. I'll lay 15 here. They come here and get crushed. I mean, last year it was a 17 when they played, 16 before that. How about 59, 35, and 63 the 3 years before that? So whatever it is, James Franklin seems to have Lockley's number here. I will lay the 10.5. What is there? I mean, Penn State's a team. At the beginning, I'm like, are they real? Are they fake? What kind of team? They got beat up by Michigan. They go on the road, and Auburn's a bad year, but they crushed them. So I'm not quite sure. I know Maryland is not good. Penn State, though, I'm going to benefit that with the history between these two. And the coach just seems to have the other guy's number, so I'll lay it.
That's fair. All right, moving right along. Arizona at UCLA minus a big number. I mean, I like Arizona. I mean, I like UCLA here, but this is a big number. Over under also huge.
77 and a half.
How? Why? I don't get it.
I mean, I get it. You think? I mean, if UCLA is scoring 50,
but I don't get it. You know what I mean?
That's it. 50-24 is still an under. I mean, is Arizona's going to give up? Because at this point, is UCLA winning? If you think they're covering, they got to be 55-30. I mean, I don't see it's getting there. I mean, 47-20 is still a nice win, but it's not a total 70. I'm going to go under. And a lot of times when I see crazy overs or unders, I kind of go opposite, like the 35. You don't even think, wow, 35, you got to go under. Like 33, I would say, you know what? I'll go under 33 if you say the 33. It went up. This one here, 77. It's almost like they're begging to go on. I mean, we've seen some games that have been high scoring. We've seen other that expect high scoring, and they end up 40-20, and it's a 60. Too many for me. I'll go under here. I
expect UCLA to put up close to 40, if not over 40, but that's about it. Arizona, I don't think puts up 30. I
that's
mean,
the thing. How bad?
70?
Yeah, is the Euclid defense that bad where they're going to give up 30 points. Then if they give up 30, the game's going over because I think UCLA is going to be scoring between 40 and 50. But
that's fair. All right, we're gonna move right along to another game. This game here, I don't. This game's got bad news written all over it for me, and that's just me because I have never. This year I can't get on the right side of North Carolina. Just can't do it, and so they're off the Christmas card list. They're off. Saturday matchup: North Carolina at Wake Forest. Wake Forest minus 3.5. Another big total, 77. Yeah. I don't know, man. Talk to me about this one.
Well, at least in this one, you got two quarterbacks. I mean, the Wake kid was supposed to be like the top dog in this year's draft, and then he's start out injured, whatever.
Right.
The defense is bad. We saw that against Clemson. Clemson, who has trouble scoring, put up 50 on these guys. Mm-hmm. And here comes North Carolina. I'm taking Carolina here 3.5. And normally at 3.5, I'm thinking fave. I'm going to go NC. Their quarterback. If this guy, and I said this today in Midday Money, if he's in any other conference, they're talking about him Heisman, 30 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, 500 yards rushing. He'd be a guy talked about. They got one loss. They might win the ACC championship, and no one knows anything about him. I'm going to take the 3.5 because I like the quarterback. I think the defense a little better. The Wake defense is terrible. If they had any kind of defense, but give me Carolina here. Maybe I still might. This might be over. We've seen Wake on the road. Hello, the guy had 7 turnovers in a period. In the quarter. I mean, against Louisville.
I'm going to tell you right now. Don't be surprised. North Carolina throws a 50 spot on them. Wake Forest defense not great, and this kid from North Carolina, I love this kid. I would love to see him in a Lions uniform at some point. Draft him late first round, mid first round. I'm just saying. Yes, as a true Lions fan, we're always scouting the next quarterback. Because we always need one. So
you're not alone in the NFL. A lot of teams are having quarterback problems.
I know.
Offense is down across the board.
I agree. If he was in an Alabama uniform, they'd be talking about him first round overall, first pick overall. But Tar Heels sprinkle a money line for me. Last but not least, this is a legit good matchup, and I want to, as a football fan, just want to watch this. TCU at Texas. Texas is a touchdown favorite. Over under 65. I know exactly where I'm going with this one. And it's crazy.
You see this number and you're like, wow, Texas, they got 3 losses, tough losses. It's not like they're bad. It's like, oh my goodness, it seems terrible. Arguably, stat and talent wise, a top 10 team. TCU undefeated. I'm taking TCU. And normally, again, like I said, sometimes I see numbers. I got to go opposite of what the opinion is. And TCU is a team, talk about just finding ways to win. Like they're going to have a letdown spot after this one. Well, maybe this is a spot where they kind of get picked off. They're not getting picked off. They just find a way to rally, win. I mean, winning games by 10 points on the road when they're down, they have no right winning. Right. Sometimes the luck's with you. And let's be honest, Texas luck, they don't really have much luck. They're on the other side of getting good fortune. So I'll grab TCU here. Could Texas win this one? Maybe the old, chickens come home to roost here and it's, 34-17. They can't get it going. I don't know. I mean, TCU just seems to have whatever. They just seem to catch. They get a call. They get a play.
Yeah.
And like sometimes you need a little bit. It's just
falling their way.
Falling their
way. I like a little TCU money line on a sprinkle. Just a sprinkle. Don't get carried away. But TCU plus the points. I think this game is decided within a touchdown, probably more like 3 points. Either way.
Yeah, it's just trusting Sark at Texas. Like the guy's never been a huge winner wherever he's at. I mean, he's got good teams, but they never win the game they're supposed to win. Done.
Yeah. That's been a rapid fire for you guys. Don't forget, like, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. Power Hour is brought to you Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern. Sean Higgs, you're not done. We got an NFL game for you guys. Sunday matchup with the newly head coach Indianapolis Colts against the badly coached Las Vegas Raiders. Raiders -6, over under 42, and a hook. Where are you going with this one?
When this line came out, I think it was a 3.5, and I said to somebody, how are you going to bet the Raiders? They just look terrible. And then I was like, you know what? The Colts just look bad with Ellinger behind there. They just look, and I'm like, you know what? Let me grab a little Raiders at like 5, and then you had the whole firing. Give me the under here.
It's nasty.
You know, how are the Colts scoring? I mean, I know the Raiders don't have a good defense by any stretch of the imagination.
Right.
But that offense just looks. I had the Colts last week. I'm like, you know what? And I'm thinking, Jonathan Taylor's back. I got the best guy in the field. I got the best offensive guy in the field. How hard is it? Hand the ball off, solid defense. I had the under. I'm thinking 13-6 final. Well, it was like 20-6 final, whatever it was. Just the wrong way for me. Just you know what I'm saying? It was just kind of opposite of what I thought would happen.
Right.
Again, where is the Colts offense coming to? Maybe Taylor plays, maybe he doesn't, maybe just hangs it up this season. I have no idea where this team's going as a whole franchise kind of thing. Good. And this poor guy's coming out here. He's out. Like, what's he got to prove? The guy who drafted him's canned. The GM,
right.
like he's in no man's land. Just a total mess. I'm going to go under here, and I still kind of lean the Raiders because talent-wise, you still have a running back, a quarterback, and a wide receiver who should be able to do something here. I mean, you don't have to do much because the other team I don't think is going to score more than 10 points. So
I was going to say this game's got 17-10 written all over it. And Raiders. But then again, I mean, the Colts scream desperation here with the owner. He doesn't even rely on an interim coach that's on the staff or even anything. He calls his old player who's got a contract with ESPN, who's on SportsCenter. Hey, Jeff, what are you doing Sundays? Can you come in? And they, it just
don't they have an ex-NFL coach on the staff? I thought like Gus Bradley's over here or something. I thought.
Yeah, and they called Jeff Saturday because Jeff Saturday won him a Super Bowl as a center. Like also Jeff Saturday's got the answer.
You see where this team's at. I mean, normally you just put a coordinator in there and be like,
this is like
you fired the coach. The season's over. The quarterback,
I think,
couldn't play good. You had injuries with your running back, who's supposed to be the MVP of the league. Your offensive line looked bad. The defense wasn't good out of the gate. It is what it is. So you're going to start over. So be it. What are you doing bringing in?
You bring in Jeff Saturday, and then it seems like Jeff Saturday and Jim Irsay, the owner of the Colts, they maybe got drunk the night before. He said, look, Jim, I could do way better. Fire this guy. I got you next week.
The worst thing about it is
they're going to tank. And they're going to draft a quarterback and let them start over next. Rebuild. That's fine. But
I'm not a Colt fan, and maybe the Colt fans could respond in a video after fact. But is he like a Colt icon? Like, is he like an icon over there? Like if somebody like the Cowboys bring in, it's Troy Aikman as a coach. You know what I'm saying? Like you bring in somebody, and how does that go when he loses every game the rest of the season? Then they'll be like, oh, remember, you kind of tarnish your image there. Like I don't know, whatever. Colts,
it's a hell of a way to start your coaching career as the head coach, by the way. With 6 days to prepare. I like it, though. We're going to take the under 42.5 in the Colts and the Raiders. Both teams discombobulated, to say the least. Like, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. Power Hours brought to you Monday through Friday. We are on at 3 o'clock Eastern. That's been it for today. Sean Higgs, I appreciate you. I'll see you on the next time, buddy. Take care.
Take it easy.
Good luck, everybody, unless you're against us. Go Lions.